Hi guys, welcome to the channel.
It all started working on a series in my dad's shed. I followed my dreams and joined the Marines, serving in Afghanistan. Defenders were always part of me. So here we are, building custom machines with my awesome team in Shropshire. We are Mahker. Hi guys, I'm Dave and welcome to episode 9. Can you believe that we are at this episode already? We really love what you guys giving us the feedback, and we would really like to know what else you'd like to see. If you can just drop a comment below. Also make sure you like and subscribe. This week we've been super busy on this exhaust system. This is Project Wombat for the guys that followed the previous episodes. So Project Wombat is an LSA fire breathing supercharged V8. So we had to give this exhaust system lots of flow. So we're giving it 2.5 inch primaries into this humongous silencer to make it a little bit road acceptable, if you like. And then we're going 3.5 inch out the back into twin dual exhaust systems that are just going to look superb. This is the colour we finally chose for Project Wombat. Me and Michael were bouncing ideas back and two. He wanted sky blue. We didn't want the car to be too washy. This car's got a full wraparound roll cage, so we certainly wanted to make it pop. So this is a series blue with a twist. We contacted our friends at Leclerc and they mixed us this blue. We went through a mix of marine blue and a bit of Miami blue, so we chose one in between. So the engine is finally in, it's on its mounts. We've decided to go with a Marsland bolt-in chassis kit. So this is totally bolt-in, there's not a weld that we need to put on the chassis. So we can ring Carl up, we can order this chassis at any point, at any time. We get it delivered and our kit simply just bolts in. We're going to be offering this kit in kit form. I'm hoping to have it out the door in a couple of months. So keep an eye on our website, Facebook, Instagram to see us posting it. This will accept an LSA, an LS3 V8, an LT4, and basically the whole Corvette range. We had a family friend come in, Roger, and he's known me since I was like a toddler. And it's a shame he wasn't here because he was like, he saw it and he was like, oh my God, like, I love what you're doing. And he's like, I'm struggling to take it all in. And he's like, everything is just breathtaking. He remembers when his dad had one of these. And it's something like Queen's Jubilee at the end. We've made loads of progress on this Range Rover Classic. In the last episode, you might have seen, I think we were putting the back end on. So we've worked our way through the doors, to the wings, to the bonnet, to the alignment of the whole front end. This whole car had inner arches. And for those of you that know how hard these cars are to line up, to tweak, boy, I think I've lost more of this.
What's all the blue tape?
So the blue tape, I call this protection tape. So it's basically a low tack masking tape. We put this on here. There's a chance of like knocking a panel when you're fitting it, and the last thing you want to do is respray a panel just for the odd occasion where you might mark something, or it just prevents chips basically.
Okay.
The doors, they were the same again. They were fun to line up, as was these grills here. We've had a lot of fun, but if you're not learning, you're not trying hard enough. This Puma 110 came to us last week. The same old problem, this engine here, those of you, I'm sure you'd be aware, it's Ford, it's unreliable. I think it's done, I want to say probably 200k, so the guy's had his money's worth out of it. So we're now going to send this engine off, probably to the scrapyard, and this engine here, the 330D, is going to go into it. So this is going to be packing 250 horsepower, 300 with a hybrid turbo. So Scott, who owns this 110, is going to be totally transformed when he jumps in this seat.
Why this particular engine?
So the BMW 330D, this is the M57, this is a 204 horsepower that originally comes in an E46. This is super reliable. This engine's done, I think it done 62,000 miles, so there's loads of life left in it. We've seen these with 300,000 on and still pulling strong. So we've given him a few little upgrades. So if you look down here, we've given him, this is a billet hybrid turbo running a 5-blade wheel. So this improves airflow into the engine. VNT option as well, so variable vane technology, maximum boost, maximum fuel, best bang for your buck if you like. So this will be getting transported in there using our adapter plate. So that in there is the MT82, that's the original 6-speed. BMW 330D engine, we make an adapter to go to that gearbox. So if you want one, give us a call and we can supply you a kit along with a clutch pack. So guys, it's not just Range Rovers and Land Rovers that we work on here. This G-Wagon is a really old girl and we've brought it to life. So you see what's in there? So James, a good customer of ours, bought this G-Wagon to us. It had a 3-litre Mercedes engine that some other garage had attempted to install and it wouldn't run. We couldn't get a control system for it. So we decided to scrap that idea. We hooked the 3-litre diesel out and we installed this. This is a 6.2-litre Corvette LS3. This LS3 is producing 430 horsepower out of the box. We then took the car to our good friends at Alionox. As you can see down there, there's some serious headers on this car. Normal headers didn't fit, and of course, this is where our specialties come into, is fitting a big engine into a standard vehicle. And of course, nothing just fits like you'd expect it to. So Alionox worked their magic. They made some super tight headers, but also free-flowing headers, so we didn't strangle the power. If you look down here, our good friends at the aluminium shop, at Creative Aluminium, Colin made this superb cooling kit. You can just see how gigantic this cooling kit is. It's full height, so from the slam panel all the way down to the top of the chassis. This is a serious radiator, something that you'd normally find on a truck. But we wanted maximum cooling. James intends on taking this truck around the world. He wants to go on family trips, expeditions, he wants to have a roof tent. He basically wants to go everywhere he possibly can and not worry about keeping this girl cool. There's twin fans on the back that are more than adequate to keep this girl under temp. So we gave this G-Wagon our 6-speed Tremec gearbox. This is coupled to the original G-Wagon transfer case. This was very difficult to do. So we were going from an American two-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive box to a 4x4 transfer case. So we had to have a special coupling adapted that basically involves a rubber donut, and the rubber donut transfers any like vibrations or deflections out of that drive and takes all the vibrations out because you don't want this cab resonating. Got this Polaris finally singing. So we've had a couple of weekends. The first time we went out racing was a bit of a washout. I'm sure you're aware if you're from England, there's been a lot of rain. So it turned into a bit of a mud plough, if you like, the first event with Staffs and Shropshire. So we went to Stone this weekend at Baden Hall. We had an awesome weekend. We put down some good laps. We did have a few technical niggles, but it's not racing, is it, if you don't break down, let's face it. So there's a couple of mods we want to do to the car. We're going to make a nice aluminium dash. We're going to put some fuse breakers in here, you know, something that we can literally reset on the move if we have a niggle. Check out some of the footage that we've got from flying around the estate. I took my partner in there, I took my good friend Izzy in there, and I also took my friend Charlie in there, and we kind of ended up on our side, which is comical to watch. We'll have a go. Yeah. You do? like this, two hands, yeah? Ready, go. Wait that way, put your foot down. Steady. Get used to it first. Very much. Steady. Down. Back there, turn. Can you see where you're going? This car is off to Rainer. This car is going to live in Wrexham, which is on our doorstep. He approached me, I think it was about 18 months ago, with this car, and it was in a sorry state of repair. It was a bit rough around the edges, a bit rugged, same again, Puma engine. It was rough, it was boring, the engine was just... Lurking under the bonnet of this beast, guys, is a 5.9 litre 12 valve Cummins. And let me show you this. So this engine took some squeezing in. As the people out there that respect the Cummins, those of you will understand how much effort and how much time has gone into this conversion. So from this cooling kit to the engine mounts to the ducting to the cooling pipes, and Rainer really did mix it up and made my life hard work because he wanted that gigantic turbo. Just check that out. So that is a 62mm forged mill wheel Borg Warner turbo from the USA. The guys in the USA certainly know how to tune these motors, so we've stolen a couple of ideas from the big Dodge boys, and they really do know how to make these. This engine is pumping, I would like to say 480 horsepower, maybe more, and torque figures I want to say 1200 Newton meters. So what's hiding under there, guys, is that is a 250 gallon fast fuel pump system. This system basically pulls the fuel out of the tank at a fair rate of knots. It pumps it into its pump system, it pulls the air, it pulls the debris out of the diesel. So when diesel hasn't got air inside it, it can bust faster. So it's forcing that down the fuel lines, down the chassis, into the P7100 fuel pump. That's the high pressure pump on this engine. So it's helping it out, if you like. So it's not having to draw its own diesel, it's getting forced in, I believe at 55 psi. And these fast kits here, I used to run one of these on my old Gen 2, and that truck certainly used to shift. And the other good thing is this truck's going to be a bit of a weekend toy, so it's not something that you've got to worry about bleed back and like worries with it not starting. You literally jump in, the 12 volt pump kicks in. It's a bit noisy, but what do you have out there that's related to performance that's not noisy? So what do you think of these 4-inch pipes? So this system comes from the turbo in 3.5 inch all the way to the quarter of the chassis, and then it goes into a swan neck, and then the swan neck to these tailpipes. Like, this exhaust system is probably the biggest one we've ever made, and just look at it. It suits the outright brunt of this machine. Sorry about the next bit, guys. Chris mucked the microphone up. Duh. So the customer wants to keep an eye on the most important things like oil pressure, exhaust gas temperatures, running this big turbo, running lots of fuel. This is the turbo smart boost gauge. This runs out at 60 psi. This car produces 55 psi boost. So it's not for the faint-hearted. We want to keep an eye on the RPM, we want to keep an eye on the exhaust gas temp, and most of all oil. Another good thing about this car stop it. We love these engines. They are super simple and so easy to maintain. They're gear driven, monstrous gears, helical cut, and it's not like a timing chain. Nothing's going to snap, nothing's going to break. The worst thing that can happen in these engines, they get a couple of problems with dowel pins and bits and bobs. Once you get them right, they're right for a very long time. And these are known as the million-mile engine. The Cummins, they did a 12 valve, they did a 24 valve, ISBs, they did 4 pots, and now I believe there's an R28 which is going in Jeeps. We're yet to convert one yet, but it's something on our to-do list for sure. This customer wanted some beautiful seats, so we gave him these suede and leather seats, and as you can see here, it's just beautiful. So thanks again for watching, guys. I would really appreciate if you can like, drop a comment, give us some information, give us some help, some feedback on what you'd love to follow on our channels, because we're out there doing hard, working hard on these cars, and we really want to make a difference, and we really want you guys to follow. So like and subscribe, keep it going, and thanks again. I'll see you next week.